Hi, I'm Barbara Arrindell. I'm here as both myself and Director of Damascus Citizens for Sustainability, or DCS, to talk about sustainability. We have been described as a small nonprofit that does really big things. A journey rooted in purpose, founded in 2008, DCS began as a group of neighbors spurred by a shared concern for the well-being of our community amidst the looming threat of fracking. Through science-based advocacy, education, activism, and collaboration, we empower individuals to raise their voices and enact meaningful change at the local, state, and national levels. We were the first to sound the alarm on fracking and fought it in court, as well as the court of public opinion, both successfully. And lately, we were successful in making the Delaware River Basin Commission close a loophole that would allow fracking waste to be dumped in the Delaware River Basin by filing a lawsuit written by myself and our environmental lawyer, Lauren Williams. The Delaware River Basin Commission is a geopolitical overlay within the geology of the Delaware River Basin. It's parts of the state of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and most of the state of Delaware. And the Basin Commission has considerable power. It was a big win that not many people heard about, but it's very important because they wanted to allow fracking waste to be dumped on roads within the Delaware River Basin. DCS is also doing local things like working to have the Milanville Bridge rehabilitated instead of destroyed. The community's concern is even larger than the bridge's considerable historic significance. We are also promoting renewable energy, energy efficiency, voting participation, climate and ecological awareness, and promoting strategies to reduce climate change. The mission remains the same, the preservation of clean air, water, and land as a basic human right. DCS became a driving force for change, advocating tirelessly to safeguard the land we cherish and to ensure a sustainable future. There's that word, sustainable. What does it mean? Dictionary says, 1, able to be maintained at a certain rate or level, conserving an ecological balance by avoiding depletion of natural resources, for example, or 2, able to be upheld or defended. The word is represented in general by these diagrams, and you'll see 3 different diagrams. The one that's to the upper right, which is a circle within another circle, is really probably closest to what is actually the case, where you have the environment as the largest circle, within that is society, and within that is economy. All of those things are important within a sustainable framework. The word is used in general, indicating maintaining something into the future and also as processes like sustainable development. Rather a slippery concept, actually. Wikipedia has it as sustainability is a social goal for people to coexist on Earth over a long time. Definitions of this term are disputed and have varied with literature, context, and time. Sustainability usually has 3 dimensions or pillars: environmental, economic, and social. Many definitions emphasize the environmental dimension. This can include addressing environmental problems, including national and individual levels. A related concept is that of sustainable development, and the term's often thought of as a long-term goal, that is, a more sustainable world. While sustainable development refers to the many processes and pathways to get to a sustainable world. And sustainability is difficult to quantify. It may even be impossible to measure, as there is no fixed definition. So when we, as an organization, took the word as part of our name, we, along with anyone else who uses it, were winging it. But for the right reasons. We were alarmed at the processes and resulting impacts of fracking as we saw them. We suspected that those impacts would be profound and accumulative, which is unfortunately now known to be the case. And we as a group wanted to work for a healthy future. We popularized the Jonah gas field images done by John Amos, who started SkyTruth after a come-to-Jesus moment working as a visualizer for the oil and gas industry. Those images start off the slideshow. The cumulative narrative, originally done in February 2012 for presentation at Cooper Union in New York City, but all of it is still unfortunately accurate today. This will be a quick review of the drilling situation, a quick glimpse of the basis of our concern. Unbeknownst to most people, the landscape of this country, above and below ground, has already been profoundly impacted by drilling for oil and gas. Bear in mind that currently, 6 years, actually now 19 years, since many of the exemptions were installed for oil and gas drilling in the 2005 Energy Policy Act, about 90% of wells drilled use hydraulic fracturing, whether they're considered conventional or unconventional. It doesn't matter. They all use fracking because they can. The climate impacts of these activities are profound. So now we're into the slideshow. This is the Pinedale area of Wyoming. Slide 1. Area shown is about 3/4 of a mile across, includes one well pad. Now we pull back a little. The area shown is about 2 miles across, about a dozen well pads. Pull back further in the same area, a little further in time, it's about 7 miles across. And now this is the fourth slide, Jonah Gas Field, Wyoming, in 1986, before there was any drilling. The area shown is 7 miles across. Now, slide 5, the same area in 1999, drilled. And then slide 6, more drilling, infill they call it, in 2006. Slide 7, the same area from a small plane. The particular image became very widely disseminated, went viral, as they now say, in part because of DCS putting it out there and publicizing SkyTruth. He's done an amazing job in his visualization materials. Now, slide 8, this is Allegheny Forest in 2009, shows about 25 to 40 acre spacing, some closer than that. And slide 9, shown here are just some of the many processes involved in drilling, as all produce waste and emissions and have impacts. It doesn't show the pipelines, compressors, or distribution systems. Slide 10, of concern, what is introduced and what is released on both health and climate. Slide 11, gas and fluid movement pathways. Figure on the right is from New York City's Hazen and Sawyer report. Shows that contamination can move from formation layers to aquifer tunnels and the surface. These are the geological emissions pathways that add all to the surface, including distribution and end-user pathways. Slide 12. DCS, gas safety, post-drilling view of methane emissions in the Susquehanna River Basin, the Wyalusing area. Certified as impacted by PADEP and ongoing for 13 years now. Those dotted circles are DEP designated impact areas. These emissions are about double baseline levels, enough to have global impact. I know, even those familiar with the subject can find this presentation shocking. I still do. What keeps me going? How is knowing these and many, many more details, those of current and coming climate changes, and still living with some equanimity possible? How, in a word, is this sustainable? For me, it has been to maintain my artist's perspective. For decades, I have described art as a translation of energy and as beauty seeking order. But art is, in a rawer sense and more basic, personal energy, finding expression by the translation of that energy into action. The truth of the emotion expressed is one factor, forming the power of the art. The form someone's art takes is very personal. The most basic art form is how you live your life. I see myself as a science-based realist and visionary, and I do like large work. I have used what geopolitical tools have been available, but I'm certainly not a politician. I am, and have been, quite emotional about my understanding of the impacts of drilling and fossil fuel use and the local, regional, and global impacts. It is the emotion which has given me the impetus to do this work, has sustained me, and this is not a politician's perspective. It is an artist's perspective, fueled by understanding of the science. I do have a degree in bioengineering, but I supported myself as an artist in stained and leaded glass, doing custom designs, fabrication, and also restorations. I built, quite literally, hundreds of windows, each one different, in many styles. I worked in the field for over 4 decades and have extensive references. My work is in restaurants, new and existing home construction, churches, and many other places. Here are a few examples. Here's Ace, my wonderful fuzzy companion, and I want you to understand it's personal, what your values are, and to not abandon the good for it not being perfect. Everything will change over time, but there's things that you have to get done, you have to pay attention to. Today's politics are on an edge. We have to go for the decent and the real and the truthful, rather than lies and dictators and kings. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.